Hey guys, Max here. Now, this is Clicks, the creator keyboard. I pre-ordered this as soon as it was announced because I'm part of the generation that remembers when we had like the bar phones, flip phones transitioning to more of a smarter phone, such as BlackBerry, Palm Trio, HP had a keyboard phone, Psychics, there were many others. So there's some form of nostalgia to use a phone with a keyboard, especially when it comes to an iPhone, because like the Samsung had their own that they released a case that was offering keyboard, but for an iPhone, that was a far reach, I guess, for me, because I've searched in the past that a keyboard that offered, like a case that offered a keyboard for an iPhone. Like, who would want to have a whole real estate of the phone display, not dedicated to on screen keyboard? So, when Clicks announced their product, definitely pre ordered. I pre ordered gray because I'm not up for flashy colors and I kind of wanted to be more matchy with my phone. And I have 15 Pro Max. So when I was pre-ordering it, I believe their announcement was to ship, I think around April. And this is where the first negative that I have to give to Clicks. Hopefully, if they are watching this video, communication. Work on the communication with the buyers. There was barely any communication from Clicks. When I pre-ordered, there was a requirement to pay a certain amount, and then the rest of the amount was supposed to be charged when the case ships. That's basically much of communication that was received from them. I got charged way earlier than the case was shipped, and that was basically it. There were times where I went to the email, the last email that I received from them, which was way before this was actually shipped. And I was like to myself, maybe there's an issue. Maybe they stumbled upon some kind of issue or bug with their case that there was a delay. But it would have been nice to inform the buyers or offer some kind of status update like, hey, your case is in production. Hey, your case is in this country. I don't know, freight is being prepared with all the cases, some kind of update. Nothing. The latest email that I received from them said expectation for shipment around April 30th. I received this case May 24th. Today is May 26th. There was absolutely no communications from them from the last email that I received from them which was sometime in the earlier part of April, up until literally communications from them right before this was delivered. Not long before. Like, hey, your case is being ready for shipment. That's it. Nothing. Absolutely horrible part on Clicks of having their buyers wonder if there's an issue. There were times that I actually already was done. Like, I wanted to cancel the whole order because I'm the type of person that updates phones every year. This is 15 Pro Max. We're in May. 16 is around the corner. So this is an expensive waste at this point. Even if I was planning to use this daily, 3 months or so of usage, waste. So the boxing is very minimalistic. There's some information on it. It's pretty minimalistic. And then it comes with the case itself here. This is inside the case, there's some material. And then the QR code that kind of takes you to a website to give you some information on the usage with this case. I went to YouTube to watch some videos, but not a lot of videos on this case. For me, it was exciting because I missed the days of keyboards on the phones, but this is not it. Yeah, this is not it. I'm disappointed. Some of the smallest things about this case is what makes this useless for me. Starting with, it's pretty light, which is great. Like, you want a light case, right? Not when you intend to use the keyboard. Like, I don't mind using, like, I use Pitaka cases, which the aramid cases, the carbon fiber, as some people might call them, that makes more sense. Like, I want to have a light case for that, but not for the keyboard. Like, this part, it's pretty light. Then when you're comparing it to the weight of the iPhone, then it creates imbalance within the whole usage. If I'm adding the phone in this part, now the top is heavy. Look at this. It's literally heavy. There is no balance. Second thing, other negative. So the biggest negative is there's no balance when it comes to this case. Second big negative is the material that they used in the case. This is slippery. This is grippy. But look how small this part is, and look at the way that I'm actually holding this case, which is like this. So if this is slippery, then I have to use force in order to use this case. And using force, constant energy from me, the strength that I have to apply to it, gets exhausting. Because once the case is in, it starts tilting this way. Not comfortable. Now this is rubbery, but it's not supportive rubbery. The only reason I think why it's rubbery is because of this part. Otherwise, there's no support. Especially for those people that have sweaty hands, this is gonna be a disaster waiting to happen. I think this is highly, highly easy to drop. Just because there is, I don't know, I really don't know, like, why not consider the safety and the weight? Because if all the weight is here and you're holding it here, you could drop this, literally. At the same time, this part right here, it's intended for the case, the phone to slide in, to bend, as you can see the instruction here. This is very easy to bend. So by any chance, if you drop phone at this part, there's going to be a damage to the phone. So then going back to the keys, look how tightly cramped they are. So having it all the way here with the weight being here and having to type over here, you're going to have to use like the edges of your thumbs in order to be able to type comfortably. Because as I'm pressing on two buttons a lot. Because you really, either you have like nails and you're uncomfortably holding your fingers all the time. One way or the other, I don't see this being a comfortable typing experience. Really don't. Unless you have very small fingers, then you won't have probably issues with typing. But the weight of this is going to be uncomfortable. So the material that they use in this, I don't know why. Like, have they actually used the phone in this case? It is so uncomfortable. I received this on the 24th of May. Probably used it for a little over an hour before I had too much discomfort. The next day, I woke up feeling that discomfort still because you constantly need to use force to use this case. Imagine using the force in your fingers and your palm in order to support this for an hour or more constantly. It's tiring. So let me show you the way this is designed. So you basically, it bends over here. This part bends pretty easy, like you can see. So you slide in. This is a USB-C adapter, not like the first one that they shipped was 15 Pro Max, which was with the Lightning adapter, then 15 Pro, which is the USB-C. But like you can see, if you slide it in there, hold on, there we go. Now you push it down and it goes in. So let's talk about safety first, of this phone. So there is a lip there that protects this part. It's not a big lip, but I think it's enough to protect this part. Let me see. Okay, yeah, see? It's pretty snug in there. The issue is, like I said earlier, this part right here. It is very, very soft. Very, very soft. So if this is a surface and it falls on a surface, listen. This one is also. Because there's a button here, it's kind of like more rigid, but this is so soft. Look at this. These two parts right here are easily, I would say, if you drop anything over here, doesn't take much. Look at this. Really doesn't take much. This is going to get damaged. Next complaint is backlighting. I put the phone in. This didn't turn on. The only way this turns on, if I click the button, then the backlighting comes on for, I don't know, about 5 seconds or so. Then it comes on. It comes off. That's it. So if I'm typing in the dark, I'm going to have to press on whatever the button, because I don't have finger memory of the placement of these keys. At the same time, because they're so tightly congested in there, I'm going to press on the wrong key. Then I would have to go back and erase that key in order to type something. And I better be typing quick, because if I'm waiting for someone's response and I'm in the dark, look at that. The light is already off again. You press, the light is on, and then a few seconds and the light comes off. So I wish, for the amount of money that this case costs, some kind of sensors, or as soon as the power comes on to this case, there should be just on, or maybe have some kind of manual turn off or turn on option here, because I found that to be an issue. I received my package towards the evening, so the only time I actually had to play around with it was already in a room that wasn't so brightly lit. So I ended up having like clicking and things, and especially let's say if I'm in the Notes app. So if I click over here, and if it was like on-screen keyboard, it would automatically pop up. So I could just use it, no issue. And it's already lit, it'll stay there as long as I'm typing. The issue with this, I'm touching, nothing. Hold on, let it turn off. You can see it's on. Touching, doesn't come on. Touching, doesn't come on. So the only way to turn it on is to actually click. So this is also a negative. Now typing, let me show it to you. So let's see, hello. Like I'm supposed to like kind of secure it with my pinky over here. This time, hold on, cramping. Hello, my name is Max, and this video is about clicks keyboard. Yeah, so it's tight. These keys are very tight together. I wish they would have used same keyboards that BlackBerry incorporated in the Passport or the Bold. It kind of made more sense and easier to type. And those phones, like especially the Bold, it wasn't that big of a device, and the keyboards were just so much more comfortable. But this is not. At the same time, I wish that there was some kind of like touch gesture. I mean, I know I'm pushing it, but it's just you just miss this part over here, like especially because if you're holding a phone like this and you're typing and if you're typing on the website and you want to go down, like it would be so comfortable just to scroll down the page this way instead of having to slide your fingers, your palm to hold this phone and then going like this. The functionalities definitely need some work. Again, this is a first generation product, so there's expectation of some faults, some negatives, and hopefully they go back to generation 2 and learn from the mistakes of the first gen and incorporate it in the second gen appropriately. But at this point, for me, this is a big waste of money. First of all, I received this in May. iPhone 16th is literally around the corner, like 3 or so months left before we get the 16, and I upgrade my phone every year. So any changes in design 16th of the iPhone 16 Pro Max or whatever they're going to call it, this is a waste. At this point, it's a waste. Literally, if I bought this from a locally store, I would have returned this already, but I just don't want to deal with it. And at the same time, I'm kind of willing to eat the loss in hopes that they use that money to go back to the drawing boards and create the second generation that is not poorly designed as this one. Look at this. This is like shiny. It just doesn't make sense. Look, the way I'm holding this, it's like this, right? Like that. I'm holding it like this. So that's a comfortable way to support as far as the weight, because now the weight is more balanced, like this. But typing is over here. So now I have to bring this down. So again, I'm using more force so it doesn't go down. So if you have sweaty palms, you're going to be dropping this. So you have to forcefully push this in, hold it, and that's the only way you could type. And again, this is slippery over here. There's no grip support here, neither here. So you constantly have to use this phone with strength, this case, not to drop it. Again, if you drop it, there's a risk if it falls somewhere here, like if it falls right here, boom, damage. Look at this. It doesn't really take that much, look. So, backlighting, materially used, weight over here, it's just design. I think they could make this into a great case. I don't mind how big this thing looks. Like, look at this. It looks, just for comparison, this is iPhone SE2. Look at this. This is humongous. Humongous. I don't mind though. I really don't mind as long as it's comfortable. I rather, if I had a choice of saving more screen, let's say for messaging or if I'm browsing the web without using it to a keyboard, because sometimes, you know, if you're on the website and you're using the keyboard, it kind of messes things around. Happened to me before. But having this untouched because I'm using a keyboard, I'd rather go with that and deal with having this so big. But they could definitely make this a lot more comfortable, a case that actually makes sense. I wish they came up with an idea where the case folds or puts over here, so this way you don't have to walk around with this big thing always open. Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone. It's for those who rather give some but get something, basically. Like, I rather give having to walk around with this big thing in my pocket, but at least save all the screen real estate, especially when I'm messaging with someone. I could see more. Let's say if you send image and you're typing, you could still see that image. If you have a keyboard, then the image pushes back. Like, I'd rather go with that, but they need to fix this keyboard. This keyboard is too cramped together. I like that they incorporated some of the shortcuts into using this keyboard. That's a plus too, but definitely the design, maybe they need to go back into working with design, change the material that they use in this. It needs more firm grippiness to it. At the same time, add weight to this portion. You really need the weight because right now, like even if I'm lifting it, look, this is where the weight goes. Here, because there's a camera bump here, which also adds weight. So here I'm holding it evenly. If I'm grabbing it here, that's it. So in order for comfortably to use this, again, I have to hold it here so it doesn't tilt down. But the keys are here. So can you imagine typing like this for some time? I don't think so. Another issue that I've noticed, I don't even know if they're going to be releasing any firmwares or nothing. So there's a delay with charging. Sometimes the charging is not recognized. So let me plug in. Let me open this first. So here, plug it in. Look at the delay. So else, I don't understand why the keyboard pops up. Delay. Let me do it again. There you go, keyboard. Here. And plug it in. It didn't pop up earlier because this wasn't there, so now it is. So look at the keyboard, it's going to pop up. There's a delay in charging on the keyboard. I don't get it. But I mean, this is small things. I don't mind having that. But there is definitely a delay. There's been times that it was in place, but the charge wasn't recognized. There are times that this was properly in place, but the keyboard wasn't recognized. Yeah. So basically this is it. Do I recommend this? If a friend of mine or a family member asked me about this case, I would have said no. I would have said wait for the next generation. Hopefully they'll fix the mistakes. But if you are like me, who reminiscens the days of the keyboards, the nostalgia on the phones, something to try, but I think it's a waste of money at this point. Okay? If you have any questions or comments, post below. If you have any suggestions, post below. I wish there was a way like to open this, like maybe this is an idea, like an idea for clicks. This opens up, you send us extra weights here that we could just put inside here to give us the balance that we need, because like, no, there's no balance. There is no balance. I think maybe if there was a balance, it kind of made sense to hold it like this and type comfortably. But at this point, it is like, look how tightly I'm holding this in. Literally, how tightly I'm holding this case in order to use it. Can anybody comfortably hold this so tightly for long periods of time and type? Absolutely not. All right, especially for those of you who have arthritis, I don't know, rheumatoid arthritis, carpal tunnel, I don't think this is the case that would work well. I see a lot of discomfort with this case at this point. So clicks, if you are watching this video, please go back to the drawing boards, change the material, change the keyboards. I don't know, talk to BlackBerry people, maybe get their keyboard, because this keyboard is not comfortable. Also, I just wish, maybe it's just far stretch, wish this was touch, especially if I'm on a website, like just go up and down, just have some kind of gestures over here instead of me having to move my hands up and physically, like, I literally, like, while I've used it for an hour or so, like, those are things, like, I really wish, like, if I'm going on a website, like, to scroll down, I wish this had some touch sensitivity where I could use it. I mean, for the price that this case cost, it's a lot. It literally is a lot. Like, I mean, I use Pitaka cases, which is aramid, carbon fiber, whatever the people you call it. Those are expensive. You could definitely get a lot cheaper, especially like just to get this part, like this material that they use for the case for this. It's a few bucks on Amazon. Those are the cheapest cases. So the material that's used in this is super cheap. Over $100. This, I don't know. I think the price is pushing it, especially for what I get with this case. That's it. Sorry, I don't have anything good to say about this because I don't find this as a good product at all. I think the first gen, it's a good try, but it's a failed attempt in my book. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have anything to say, please comment below.